Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Priscilla and this is my Tarot Corner. So today's video is going to be a VR, which is a video response to Simply Han, the hashtag loveliest decks. So let's get into it. So the first prompt is the Heartthrob deck. Which deck swept me off my feet at first sight? Now for this prompt, I chose the Catacorn Tarot. This is by Pamela Chen and artwork is by Delphine Dion. This is published by US Games. Now I chose this particular deck because I just absolutely love it. Actually, I fell in love with it way before I even got it. So literally at first sight. So when I saw it on Instagram, when I saw it on YouTube, honestly, when I first just saw this deck, I was like, this was the deck I needed. I love cat decks. But I don't know, there was something about this particular cat deck that just made me, if this will focus properly, I don't know. There was just something about this particular cat deck that was different from the other ones that I owned, and it's just so cute. I love this Queen of Swords. This is my significator card, and I love that she's wearing glasses. It's just so cute, and it feels really me in a way. Oh my god, I love this Sun card. Look, so cute, little ginger cat, little unicorn plushie. I don't know, I love everything about this deck so much. And it's just the cutest. Love this moon card. There's a little bunny here. Another little bunny. The Queen of Wands. I feel like it's not focused properly. Anyway, yeah, I fell in love because of the art style, the cuteness. It just felt like it was relatable to me specifically, and I feel very close to this particular deck. I don't know, I think it's just the artwork. The artwork just does something for me personally, and I just absolutely love it. I'll leave it on this. Seven of Cups, where the little kitty corn is dreaming about all these things. It's absolutely the cutest. So this was the first deck that I chose for the first prompt. Now the second prompt is the Hopeless Romantic deck. Which deck feels the most dreamy and romantic? Now for this prompt, I chose the Tarot of the Little Prince. This is by Rachel Paul and Martina Rossi. This is published by Lo Scarabeo. Look at the backs. Love the backs. Now, I chose this. Dreamy, yes, it does feel very dreamy in my opinion. And if you know The Little Prince, which is a story, it's a short story written by an author in France. So it's originally a French story, which has been translated into other languages. It's also in English. And I read this story when I was in elementary school. I read it in French. It was read for French class. And I would definitely feel like it's dreamy. It follows the Little Prince and his journeys. And he talks, this is the Little Prince, and he talks to a narrator or to someone that he meets after he's come to Earth, and pretty much tells his entire story to this traveler here. So this traveler crashed his plane. He meets the Little Prince, and I think he's also the narrator, if I'm remembering correctly. And the Little Prince tells him about his entire journey. And I use this actually for romantic readings because of the love that the Little Prince has for the rose. So before he came to Earth, he was on his planet. His planet is a small planet. And he fell in love with a rose that grew on his planet. And he took care of her and made sure that she got, nutrition and food and grew and things like that. And that she was very well protected. But the rose manipulated him and controlled him and took advantage of him specifically, so he decided to leave. So he left, and once he leaves, he goes to Earth. Obviously, he sees that roses are not unique and that they're everywhere, pretty much, especially on, Earth. Because it was something that he never saw before on his planet, obviously. But pretty much the aspect of the story is really that even though she was cruel to him and he loved her so, he still missed her enough to want to go home at the end. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this particular story and this particular deck felt like it was fitting for this particular prompt. And I absolutely love it. And I do, like I said, here we have the Two of Cups. I'm going to leave it on this one, actually. And I do actually use this particular deck if I do like readings, romantic readings for other people. This is the deck I typically go towards because I don't have any other decks that would be considered romantic in my collection other than this one. And specifically, it's for the story. And that's why I chose it. The third prompt is the soulmate deck. Which deck do you feel, or do I feel, the deepest emotional connection with? Now, for this prompt, it was literally a no-brainer for me. I went with the Wild Unknown Tarot. This is by Kim Krans. This is published by Harper One, I believe. Yeah, Harper One. And I chose this particular deck because this is the deck. This is the regular size. So I have the regular size. I have the pocket edition as well. And this is the deck. This was my first official tarot deck. So I had a deck prior to this that I thought was tarot. Ended up not being tarot. It was just like a deck that was named weird. It was like, I think I talked about this before. It was called the Psychic Tarot Oracle Cards. And I honestly hate when you're a beginner and you have all these decks on the market and you find that and you're like, oh, I really love the imagery. You think it's tarot, but it's just named tarot when it's not even a tarot system. Most annoying thing ever. Biggest pet peeve of mine. Anyway, so this was actually the second deck that I picked up, and this was true tarot. Like, this is actual 78 cards and followed the tarot system in a way. And I absolutely love this deck. I chose it as the strongest emotional connection because I do have a very deep bond with this particular deck. Being it was my first tarot deck, it's been with me since pretty much almost the beginning of my tarot journey. And it just felt right to put this deck at this particular spot in this video for this prompt because it just fits. It just fits in terms of the bond that I have with it specifically. And I do love this deck. I love Holler decks. Big fan of hers. I love her artwork. It was the first deck that really taught me how to read core cards and minors that are pips or pip-ish and not fully scenic. And that's why I don't mind too much pip decks and things like that. So I feel like I grew a lot in terms of my tarot and learning tarot using this particular deck. So I'm just going to leave it on the Daughter of Cups. So that's why I chose this particular deck for this prompt. For prompt number 4, we have the Self-Love deck. Which deck helps me reconnect with myself and practice self-care? So for this particular prompt, I chose the Gentle Tarot. This is specifically the pocket edition. I do have the full-size edition as well, but this one was just handy, so I just picked this one up. I love the foiling on the backs. Anyway, the pocket edition is newer to my collection. So I actually won this in a giveaway that Mari in the Sky did on her Instagram. This is an indie publication. So it's published by and created by Mari in the Sky. Now, I chose this one specifically because the focus of this deck really focuses on the body and on nature, Mother Nature, Earth, groundedness, and animals. This is what I personally believe when it comes to this, using this particular deck, and what I feel. So for me specifically, when I think of self-care, I think of, groundedness. Want to feel balanced, and I definitely want to have a focus a bit on the self. Like, look at this beautiful temperance card. Like, this is gorgeous, honestly. 10 of stones. Perfect. This is what I'm talking about. I want to feel grounded. I want to feel like I have a strong sense of self and things like that when it comes to self-care. So this deck is literally perfect in that it really gives those vibes off when I'm using it, because it's very soft, it's gentle, like the name says. I do find it very gentle. And the guidebook is also another thing that really helps with the self-care, self-love kind of messaging as well. And I do work with this particular deck with the guidebook. And that's what I felt like when I was thinking about the prompt specifically, because I have several decks I feel like would fit this prompt well, but this one specifically was the one that I felt fit the best because of this strong connection to self and body and nature, Mother Nature, with this Two of Wands. I love it. All the figures are in the nude. And that was another big thing as well in terms of connecting with self. I love the Sun card. I'm going to leave on the Sun card. So that's why I feel like it's perfect for self-care for me specifically. So for prompt number 5, we have the Power Couple Combo, my favorite tarot and oracle deck pairing, and why. Okay, this was really hard because I have so many pairings, because that's all I do. In my practice, I mainly pair decks, so oracle and tarot together. So this is really hard to pick one. So you know what? I found I looked at the first tarot deck I found and was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to show this one. So this is the pairing combination that I'm going to be showing. So it's the Wisdom of the Pooh. This is the pocket edition with the When My Soul Whispered Oracle deck. So the Wisdom of the Pooh is created by Serafina and Angel Mesa, illustrated by Kat Amzel. This is published by Ruin Vervain, and this is indie. And I believe that they're having a sale on this deck still, so you can definitely check that out. I'll leave a link down below for it. And I do have a discount code, so you can get $5 off. And then we have the When My Soul Whispered Oracle deck. This is by Melissa Salvaggio, and artwork is by Jess O'Connor. This is published by US Games. Okay, so I will put my oracle in the center. And I will put the tarot on the sides. Now, the tarot has a very unique style. It's very storybook. Oh, I forgot to take out. Oh, this was one of the extra cards. Okay, there we go. It has a very unique style because it's a very storybook in terms of artwork. And I don't have too many oracle decks that I feel would go well with this particular deck in my collection. And I like this oracle deck specifically, When My Soul Whispered, because of the white space. And I feel like you can get really into like the colors that are going on. Where are the colors being shown? So we have some yellow, obviously, with Pooh, the sand, red with the book that Christopher Robin is reading, and things like that. Like this one would pair really well with this one because of the red and yellow. We have the fire and whatnot. So I do a lot of that with this particular deck. Like try to see the colors that are the same between the cards. And I also really like that this oracle deck is very minimalist. So the scenes are very detailed in the tarot. And when the scenes are very detailed in the tarot, I prefer to have an oracle deck that's less detailed, that's a little bit more minimalist. That way, it's not so overwhelming when I'm trying to read the cards together. That's why another reason why I really love this particular pairing. So we have Decision with the Three of Cups and the Star. I feel like this is saying that, you might have a decision to make, but the decision that you do make, it's hopeful, but it's also celebratory. So you'll be celebrating your decision and good things will come from it. We have Strength with the Moon and the Four of Swords. We have Emotion with the Queen of Cups and the Sun. I really love these together because water, emotion, water. Sun is all about joyous emotions. Okay, so I'll leave the last one on this one because I really love the colors. We have a lot of green, we have a lot of yellow, orange in this kind of palette. So I feel like this is like really perfect in that regard. So we have Receptivity with the Knight of Cups and the Four of Wands. Yeah, Four of Wands. So, yes. So for prompt number 6, we have the Secret Admirer deck, a deck I don't use often, but secretly adore. So for this prompt, I chose the Naked Heart Tarot. This is by Jillian C. Wilde. This is an indie publication, but I bought it through her Amazon storefront when she still had a storefront. And I haven't used this deck actually in a hot minute, to be very honest with you. I think the last time I picked this deck up was like maybe 2 years ago. But I do really love this deck very much. It is pippish. It's animal-based. Animals, but also like fantasy animals as well. Nature and things like that. With trees and things. I just really love the simplistic aspect of it. So it's very minimalist, but there's still stuff happening. So, we have the Seven of Cups here. There's a giraffe. The giraffe is clouded by, the different cups. And obviously with the Seven of Cups, we typically see different choices that needs to be made. She went a different route in terms of like being clouded by, your imagination or not being aware of reality and things like that, being too stuck, like having your head too stuck in the clouds kind of thing. So I really love that. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have ants. The picks that she chose, like the different elements of either animal or nature, really makes sense in the particular card that, she chose it for. Like here we have the Ten of Wands and we have a camel, which that makes so much sense, right? Because camels can hold a lot of things on their backs. They're used for travel and whatnot in Egypt. This is like a perfect association with the Ten of Wands, in my opinion. I really need to pick up this deck again because I just love it so much, but haven't used it in a hot minute. I've been using so many other things. I love this Hermit card. I love when there's a tortoise or turtle in the Hermit card. It just, I love it. Because, the Wild Unknown also has a turtle, or a tortoise rather. And I love that because it feels very hermity. I just love, oh, I'm going to end it with the moon. I just love looking at the simplistic nature of the cards and the amount of white space that there is. I love this Ace of Cups. Absolutely gorgeous. So for prompt number 7, we have the Forever Love deck. If I could only keep one deck, which would it be? This is so hard. It was so hard to actually really think about which deck I would keep, to be very honest with you, because I have so many decks in my collection. But ultimately, I ended up going with the Lightseers Tarot. This is the pocket edition. I do have the full size as well. This is by Chrisanne and published by Hay House. And I feel like if I'm going to only keep one deck, I'm going to keep something that would be easy to read, recognizable, a deck that I love, but is not, you know, Rider-Waite-Smith, to be honest with you, and has its own imagery and kind of does its own thing. And that's why I went with this one specifically, because I love this deck so much. I do use this deck quite a bit, especially the pocket edition. It's just one that I reach for constantly. So in my eyes, this is like the perfect, it's like the perfect deck to keep forever. in that particular regard, because I can only keep one deck. Thank God that is not the case, because I don't think I'd ever be able to survive with just one, to be honest with you, because I love my collection very much. But yes, if I could only keep one, I definitely, I would definitely choose this one. Like it's so nice, and I really feel like Chrisanne did a great job with this particular deck. I also love the additional big book that she created. Absolutely phenomenal and fantastic. And I'm going to leave it on this 8 of Pentacles, because this is my favorite and 8 of Pentacles of all time. It literally is the embodiment of me in that way. So I am going to leave it on that. And lastly, we have the love letter card, a card that feels like a love letter to myself or someone special. So I decided to go with an oracle deck for this specifically. So I chose the Take What You Need, an affirmation deck for tuning into your inner voice. This is by Danny DePiro and published by Andrews McNeil Publishing. And the card that I specifically chose was this one specifically, stating, you deserve to feel good for being exactly who you are. And I chose this card in particular because I feel like it's such a struggle sometimes to be yourself. And I feel like a lot of people probably can relate that sometimes you just don't know if people will accept you for who you are if you act exactly who you are. A lot of the time people feel like they have to wear masks or put on guises, like disguises and things, just to be accepted. So I felt like this was the perfect love letter card to myself. And maybe it'll be the perfect love letter card for you as well. So yeah, so you deserve to feel good for being exactly who you are. So if you made it this far in the video, please put a heart letter emoji in the comments below so that I know that you made it to the end of the video. I do thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you've done this tag. If you have, please link it so I can check it out. If you haven't, is there specific decks that you would choose for these particular prompts? I'd love to hear from you. Are any of these particular decks of interest to you? Did something catch your eye while watching this video? Did you agree with my selections that I chose for the prompts? I'd love to hear from you, no matter what, in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on that bell so you can be notified every time I post a brand new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it's greatly appreciated and helps me in the long run. Thanks so much, and I hope that you have a great day.